Why tell a story in the medium of film? You could write a book, compose a song, paint a picture, or put on a play. What advantage does film have over the other art forms? Simply put, film can blend all the other art forms together in a way that almost nothing else can do. Film takes the writing from books, the music from songs, the visuals from pictures, and the acting from plays, and blends them all together into one stylized whole. Today, let's talk about film style by taking a look at the 1961 film El Cid. El Cid is a movie of highs and lows. It has some absolutely top tier pieces, like the visuals and the music, but also some glaring weaknesses, like the writing and performances in some scenes. It shows both the best that films can achieve and the pitfalls to avoid. So I think it's a great film to look at for this topic. This film came out during a time when Hollywood was pumping out epics. Huge, sprawling stories, with casts of thousands, set in exotic locations and distant times, with massive conflicts and sweeping musical scores. The film's producer, Samuel Bronston, was able to film on location in Spain, due to close cooperation with Francisco Franco's government. Franco's government were enthusiastic about a film depicting one of Spain's legendary heroes, and their cooperation extended to Spanish workers helping to create many of the costumes and props for the film, as well as allowing Bronston and his production company to use Spanish army soldiers for the thousands of extras needed for the battle scenes. The film was also able to secure the musical talents of Miklos Rozsa, the composer famous for his scores on other epics, like Quo Vadis, Ben-Hur, and King of Kings. For the lead roles, Bronston got the acting talents of Charlton Heston and Sophia Loren. Interestingly, for her role in the film, Sophia Loren was paid $1 million, making her only the second actress in history to receive such a sum. Let's talk about one of this film's strengths to start with. A film's score can make or break it, and this film has one of the best scores that I have ever heard. It's grand, majestic, and bombastic at all the right moments, and it captures the pageantry of medieval Spain magnificently. I can't play much of it here in the video due to copyright restrictions, but I highly suggest that you look it up on YouTube or wherever you listen to music. It is one of those film scores that you can listen to and almost get the story just from the music. I can't praise it highly enough. Another interesting fact is that over 20 minutes of the film's score was removed in post-production, and Rozsa was incensed by this. He felt that it was an insult to him and also hurt the film, but he was unable to convince the filmmakers to have the music restored to the final cut. However, music by itself is not enough to make a great film. You also need powerful acting and a well-written story. This, unfortunately, is where El Cid really suffers. Charlton Heston and Sophia Loren are both good actors, but they did not get along well at all. Because of this, their romance feels forced and unconvincing in many scenes, and that is understandable once you know that they couldn't stand each other. The film is not helped by the supporting actors, who are a bit of a mixed bag. Some are capable and do a good job, while others are just not very good at all.
Because you are not the king. The kingdom has been divided.
It doesn't help that many of these side characters are not given much time to develop. The plot rushes along at such a breakneck pace that it's difficult to keep track of who's who and how they all relate to one another. This is where the writing comes in. While the film is long, it is also far too short for all the story that it's trying to tell. Events happen one after another, but they don't flow well, and it doesn't always make sense why the characters are doing what they're doing. The compression of all of El Cid's legendary exploits into a single film makes the plot feel rushed, and the characters seem two-dimensional. While there are scenes that are well written and well performed, they don't fit together into a well-constructed whole. This is one of the great pitfalls to avoid when writing your story. Don't get so focused on making your scenes perfect that you neglect how they fit together into the overall narrative. good standalone scenes will not save a rushed, confusing overall story. So if the acting and writing isn't great, is the music all there is to make this movie memorable? No, because we have yet to talk about the other great strength of this film, its visuals. Movies are inherently a visual medium. You want good visuals that will reinforce the story you're telling, and while good visuals cannot save a poor story, they can make it more enjoyable to watch. El Cid puts on one of the most magnificent spectacles of its time. Granted, this has since been outdone with the use of computer-generated imagery, but at the time, knowing that everything you're seeing on screen is either a real person, a real place, or a clever use of camera angles and painted backdrops to make it look real, it's pretty incredible. The beautiful vistas of the Spanish landscape, the rich colors of the royal courts, and the martial grandeur of the medieval armies create a real treat for the eyes. This film may have problems, but its visual artistry of composition, framing, and color is not one of them. El Cid uses every part of the frame for its compositions, uses elements in foreground and background to draw the eye to explore the shot, and has a rich and vibrant color palette. There's a reason this film was nominated for Best Art Direction at the Oscars. So while its spectacle may not be enough to make it a good film, it certainly makes it a very enjoyable watch.
Say Amen. Amen.
Now remember, if you want to tell your story using the artistic medium of film, use the form's stylistic advantages to the utmost. Avoid the pitfalls of acting and writing that El Cid falls into, and take lessons from its achievements in music and visuals. I'm AJ, and I hope you found this discussion about El Cid interesting. What film do you think encapsulates the best that the medium has to offer? Have you learned other lessons about filmmaking or storytelling from this movie? Let me know down in the comments below, and like and subscribe for more videos like this one. Now, go out there and create stories.